Why men should never argue?
When you say argue, give me when you say argue, what do you mean argue? Dude, it's you have the pride. Pride can turn into a pride can get turned into 2022. You have to really poke and prod to get information out of like this. Despite women being the most talkative they've ever been, they are also the most decisive. They will post everything on Facebook, but they can't tell you what they want for Christmas, what they want for dinner, what they want for breakfast.
But I think though, I want to argue because we're not going to win most of the time when it comes to arguing. Because I don't think we really want to go there with our females, but they try to drive us to that place that we want to be. I don't like arguing. I'm just trying to just trying to challenge myself to do it a new way, like just being open to just challenge yourself to like, you know what, I'm gonna get mad because certain triggers that we have, man. It's just like whether a person is that certain word or how they say it as a trigger, and we mad just that quick, man. I'm just trying to challenge my own self. My next relationship, we're gonna find a different way. We're gonna like, you know what, we got to break for a second, come back, but we're gonna get down to it. But I don't want to argue. I don't like being like that.
Even the Bible talks about how we shouldn't. It said, do everything without complaining and arguing. And that's in Philippians 2:14. It said, do everything without complaining and arguing. Meaning it goes nowhere. And one thing what happens is sometimes there's a positivity to the reason why some women, I wouldn't say all, but some women argue because they like what comes after that. Because sometimes when you argue with someone, it leads to good sex in the bed.
Yeah.
So sometimes they might. Why we shouldn't argue with women? Because the Bible says it's stupid. It says stupid. It's stupid to argue about something that is not worth arguing about. It can be something really. I mean, it says in 2 Timothy, don't have anything to do with foolish and stupid arguments. It's just stupid. Sometimes women just want to. They said it could be because they love you. It said it could be because they love you. It could be because, if they didn't love you, then they probably have the silent treatment.
What?
And they probably just go on about their business. Or they just trying to get something.
Yeah. I like that silent treatment. I don't know what the hell they think. Yeah. I hate that, man.
I don't know, man.
I think I'd rather...
depends on the day of the week. If it's Sunday and the game is on, the silent treatment's all right. You ain't gotta talk to me all day. I might piss you off Saturday on purpose.
Yo, I might use that one.
I am not arguing with any female at all whatsoever. I used to do that back in the day and thought it was purposeful. It's definitely not. It never works. There's no point. You get nowhere at all. I'm good at the silent treatment. Good with the silent treatment. All that. You don't have to talk to me at all. It's all right. It's all right. I don't see it. It's not necessary to argue with anybody, actually. If we're gonna argue, then you setting up for bad times regardless. You know what I mean? And with that arguing for good sex, listen, you piss me off, you ain't getting good nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to argue. You know what I mean? I don't feel the same when you try to argue with me and try to talk shit. I don't want to have sex with you. Like, what do I need? Like, no, your mouth is too much. I don't want to even hear you.
Now, can y'all be mad at a female and she wanted to do it the next minute that you're okay with it, or would you still be in your mood?
No. If my wife, no, it's on. It's on. Let's make up. I apologize. You apologize, and let's just get it out.
Said seduction.
It depends on how you seduce me to get out of that mood. If you play your part, all right, and shit. I'm sorry. I don't even know why.
Yo, stopping now, real talk. In college, I had this chick I hated. Matter of fact, she hated me too. But when lights was off, you know what I mean? We couldn't stand each other until we got horny. You know what I mean? And then it was whatever. But outside of that, I think if she's in the right situation, she probably would have hit me.
Y'all gotta read what Keisha said. Hey, Shanique, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in. Y'all see what Keisha said?
Go ahead, read it.
That's this one. Okay. I saw it just before it went away.
She said, and I was over here typing. All he got to do is grip her up, kiss her, and say, "We talk about that later," and carry her ass in the damn bedroom.
You know why it really isn't good to argue, and that's period. But especially with a woman, is because it's never ending. And the more you argue, the longer they're gonna be mad at you for whatever reason. If it don't come, even if you apologize, and then sometimes it's to the point where either one don't want to apologize or one is too has so much pride that they don't want to say I'm sorry. It really leads to the silent treatment. Sometimes that silent treatment is for a whole week.
We all know everything in this world catches on when it fades and fads and it grows over time. Different people, copycats, see certain things. This whole thing started like 2001, where they started this whole sports talk thing where arguments started getting promoted. I mean, it's changed everything. It's changed CNN. It started from like Mike and Mike into like, I think it was first called Cold Pizza or First Take. But bottom line is arguing became mainstream and people stopped at some point. Some point, people stopped having conversations to hear each other out and just started listening to reply. Like before you even have, you know what I mean, you already have your response ready. And I don't want to blame this all on Skip Bayless and them, but that was like the first example. Like CNN at one point and Fox News, they were all really just news shows. And then after like a wave of the different sports shows where they all went that debate way, where they went with the First Take, with the Stephen A, the Mike and Mikes. At some point in time in the mid-2000s, everyone took that style, man. They went with this debate style. You look at every show now, whatever the genre could be, hip-hop, it's all the debate. And people at some point stop.
Wait, I disagree.
They listen to respond. And people come into arguments that way now. They don't. You can agree to have a fair conversation. They're not coming in to hear you. They're coming in with their response ready.
Most people don't. Most arguments, if you think about it, it's because they're not understanding one another. When you don't understand one another, whether you agree or disagree, because you can understand somebody and still disagree with them. But I think a lot of people argue because they are narrow-minded and they just think the way that they think, and it's either my way or the highway or whatever case may be. And I agree with Shanique. Shanique says some men are the same way. You know, men do argue, but Shanique, I'm gonna have to tell you that men, when we argue, it's for like 30 seconds. Women, when they argue, it's for like 30 days.
Yeah. You know, half the reason why I think we argue though, because our process of the way we think, and they're emotional thinkers, and we are analytical thinkers. We analyze things. I don't think necessarily one side is better than the other. Just sometimes certain situations need to lead you a certain different way. That's why I think you put both together and create that balance where you got the one thinking emotionally and you got the one analytical. Because sometimes explaining stuff to them is like, we're like, no, that don't make any sense. And we recognize like they do not understand nothing that we're saying. No matter how much you break it down, they don't get it.
Well, wait. Let's get to the heat now. I've been sitting back listening to the nonsense. Everybody likes to type what they really want and don't even follow what they type in, because once they reach that moment and want to argue with you, it's a no holds barred, no matter how small the situation is. They're like, rah, 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 rah. That's all you hear. It's like a little dog that nibbles at your fucking ankles. You know what I'm saying? Like, rah, 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 rah. And then you try to calm them down.
You sound like a real one.
You try to put some logic into their minds, but they're too busy with their and that's all they can fucking hear. Even when you're super right, even when you prove them wrong, when you detailed it, broke it down, it really don't fucking matter. When they want to argue with you, they will argue with you.
They've already chosen their position
going for no reason whatsoever.
Jim, I would have to say, I can see why you say that. You know, everybody's point of view is different though, but yeah, I mean that sometimes I feel you. I just think that I don't think women don't really understand. We really don't want to argue. That's like one of the worst, especially when you don't want us to be the abusive type. That when we get in our mind that you don't try to approach a lady in that way or want to be aggressive with a lady, it just rubs against you to even try to go there with her. And sometimes you feel like they're trying to take you there. They want you to get a little bit more mad, and you're not trying to visit the area yourself that you're trying to overcome and be mild, you know what I'm saying? Be mild and just be more respectful.
A lot of women like to argue, and sometimes they argue because they know the end results. Sometimes they already know the end result. Some men take out their credit card, give it to the woman, say, hey, babe, just go buy you something. But, you know, a lot of them do it because they know we'll forgive them.
What you say, Jimmy?
Saying, you know?
You see what Steve put up? It's so stupid, man.
Where he at?
He said, I'm not going to get over it. I'm holding a grudge. And I'm gonna throw the eyeliner around.
That's what I was looking at earlier. That was hilarious.
A crud. Yo, Steve, you already in the doghouse, bro. You messing up too early, man. You can't mess with that part.
Listen, I agree. I agree with
like
him.
A knife, man, when you do that.
I'm not throwing nobody's eyeliner.
Hey, look, that's what you wet your thumb for.
Yo, I gotta say this though, man. Cause this happened to me like not too long ago. But you ever been so mad and somebody asks you what's wrong with you, and it's like you want somebody to with you, and then the other part of I don't want to about it. It's like you in between. You want to say what's wrong, but you don't want to be bothered, but you want someone to ask you. It's like you don't want to be bothered for this second, but then again you want to talk about it, but then again you don't. And I was like, man, why do I feel like I want to talk about it, but right now I'm just pissed off. I don't have nothing to say. But don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere. Just stay here. That's how I feel.
See, I got this whole outlook like Jaleel White. You know what I mean? I got this whole Steve Urkel with me. But bro, my mouth can be reckless. So when I get there, when I'm like, I don't know, I just need to not say nothing, because once I'm there, bro, I go into Tupac, hit 'em up, Nas, Ether, Jay-Z, and I'm like, when I get finished saying what I'm saying, I'm banned from weeks, if ever. Like, once I get there and it come out, it's curtains. We have rules for banning people from the show. Can we ban people?
You get a one that
hey Keisha, I'm the same way, Keisha. Keisha, I'm the same way. I'd rather love than fight. You know, I really hate arguing. I don't like it because it really dampens the relationship. And if I can just, if that's one thing that I can destroy in a marriage, it would be arguing. Because when you ain't got no arguing, but it says if you respond gently. If a woman come at us, or vice versa, if a man come at a woman, the best way is to respond gentle. And when you respond gentle, it will pretty much cool the fire down. I don't like arguing. Arguing is very harsh. It dampens the relationship and leads to things that it leads to things that you don't want to say.
Definitely draining, bro. Arguing is draining.
Sometimes you see a lot of clues though, man, with people in their family circle. You know, with grandmothers and mothers, you start seeing clues how they talk to their different people in their family, how to talk towards people, and sometimes there's a pattern there. That's a learned behavior.
A lot of times it's something that's deep rooted. The reason why a lot of people is arguing about something.
Agree. My dad explained it to me like this: your relationship starts out as a credit, right? And every time you have a silly argument, that is a debit against the relationship. Over time, it shit builds up. Eventually, you overdraft. So you gotta, pick your arguments in a relationship.
Hold up. Second Savage saying, they can have my food step card.
Get this fool to shut your
I can dig it. That's hilarious.
That food step thing never get old. Okay, how much money do you get? That's a freaking deal right there. Who can turn that down? You know, one thing I realized though, man, I used to notice how my mom used to talk to me when I was younger, and she would definitely chastise me, or discipline me when I did something wrong. But sometimes she was on the edge of my bed, and sometimes she would, even something that happened, let's say a family member died, and she'll say, wake me up really soft and say, hey, this person died last night, and we'll have this talk. And I realized that she had my undivided attention because of the tone she talked to me in. And so I realized, I just dawned on me the other day that when I started going to relationships, when you start, the mother-son relationship is a key. And with all of our relationships, with our mother and father. But there's always a lot of different clues of why we are and how we like the things the way we do. So when women start talking to me a certain way, I get a little, I don't know, I just don't like it because my mom didn't talk to me that way. She knew how to talk to me, to get to me, to make me listen. It was all in her tone. I was like, I'm quiet because the tone she's talking to me is like, it's that tone she knows exactly how to just talk to me.
Tone is very important. Yeah. Very important. Me, I can't take it. I don't like people telling me what to do. I don't like people raising their voice at me. As soon as they do that, I'm already in Incredible Hulk mode. Like, yo, you did what? Yeah. Say something again.
Yeah. There should be spouse support. If you argue for more than a minute or 2 minutes, you should have to pay a fee. Spouse support.
Oh, they'll stop a whole lot, won't it? In fact, take away the gifts, the pocketbooks and stuff.
It should be a mandatory job. Matter of fact, you ain't got to do nothing. You should hear your phone go cha-ching. That means you just got something, a cash app. from your partner. By the way, you don't have to do anything. It should be something that is in the spirit that should say, when you argue longer than this and for unnecessary, meaningless reasons, you will have a draft from your bank account.
Right.
Yo,
that'll stop a lot of arguing.
Yeah. Yeah, that would. That's not a bad idea in a relationship to have something like that. You win the sentence according to how you do certain things.
I just thought about it. Little midget in their head is ruthless, man. It's gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. They can't help themselves. They need to hear themselves argue. I'm serious. I've proven my point over and over again before. They need it. Even when you detail the conversation of proving yourself, we don't need to argue. They have to hear themselves argue. Because I don't know if it gets them off or they need to be heard or whatever it may be.
It helps them get it out.
Yeah, they just need to get it out. It's like kids. I need to pout. Then go to your room. Go to your room, and then when you feel better, you come and talk to me.
That's when you give them. Yeah. Who's the
We'll definitely shut them up. Keisha, when you exactly to the all I need is the I won't argue with you, baby. Just pipe me down, baby. Just pipe me down.
I just don't like, man, because it take me a little while to calm down. So I just don't like going there because I just can't brush it off. It take me a little while to. I don't know how some people can just switch. I don't know. Maybe there's something I need to work on. I don't know.
Let's always remember we do need to talk about things. We do need to have conversations. But just like Shanique said, it becomes like a war. Like some people argue to have a war, and that's not. Yes, you should have disagreements. That you're different. You're in a relationship, But when you argue like that, it's like I don't even know what to say. It's just all over the place. It's just like an explosion. It's an explosion, really. An argument is an explosion. So why explode?
Hey, yo,
why not just stuff in love?
Have y'all ever been arguing with somebody, man, and it's like a circle? You keep going to the slam, so you can't. You try to pull out, trying to come. Well, maybe we should do this, and they just keep going. Like I'm getting dizzy. Like okay, and most time because they don't really admit that they wrong. That's usually the problem. They don't ever want to admit it.
And at that point, everyone is dug in. At that point, everyone is dug in, and you're not hearing each other anymore. It's like it'll be all. You're yelling at each other, not to each other, so no one is hearing the other point, yo.
Fellas, straight up.
Hey, you know what should happen that time?
Question right here. Have y'all ever? How many times have you known they're wrong, but they insist on being right, knowing it, and they will go on and on and on and on with that narrative of being right? You're just like, you're right. Yeah. Go ahead.
95% of the time, I will apologize whether I'm wrong or right, because I just want to end it. I just want to end it because even the Bible says the one who, the maturity one is the one that will end it in a peaceful manner. And that's all he said. Apologize whether you're wrong or right. And I'm gonna tell you, you know what? The next time when it keeps going around in the circle, Anthony, when an argument keeps going around in the circle, buy you a construction worker suit, vest, and a hat that says, "This is a roadblock." And maybe that would. This is a roadblock. We ain't going around no circle no more. Go in the bedroom in your closet and put it on a construction worker suit, and come back and with a stop sign says stop. Turn around.
Jim, what you doing?
Go back the other way.
Jim, what are you doing?
Construction worker there too.
I'm gonna put on an orange vest and a hard hat.
I'm just gonna put on a hard hat.
I swear, I'm gonna use some of the ideas because you know what though? If you do that, think about it. It's gonna break the ice. Like you're gonna have to laugh at it, and everything just broke. I'm gonna actually use that. Man, I think I'm gonna use that.
Yeah. Hey, it may work because I'm gonna tell you. I used to go to spin class, and I take my vest and my bike helmet when I go to spin class. They look at me like, "What in the world are you doing?" I said, "What?" I said, "In the Army, we fight. We train as we fight. So if I'm in spin class, let me wear my helmet and my vest."
Right.
So in an argument, I'm wearing a construction hat and a vest orange vest, and we're gonna cease this. They're gonna be a roadblock.
Now,
I'm
Eric,
gonna wear a mask that covers my face, some earplugs. I don't want to hear you, and I don't want to see you.
Eric, now you know that if they want somebody walk out in there and somebody got a fun look in their face, so what you got looking like that for? It says a man there with a helmet on. You know you're gonna think you have Forrest Gump syndrome, right?
Well,
Either that or he's really heavy.
Hey, why with a helmet on?
I really do go to spin class with a helmet on.
He might just be in the BDSM.
Woo, man, that was.
And I don't like to be argued to or at. Argue with me.
What you got? What you got, Eric? What you got going on?
You can find me at the love, peace, and joy and kindness at the crossroad. I'll have my hard hat at the construction site. This road is blocked, so you can find me there at Love, Peace, Joy Street. Because I ain't having that argument. Stop it. Turn around. It's not your turn. Come on. You go. No, you don't go. You sit down. You go.
Right.
No arguing.
None.
Love.